Good morning and welcome back to the vlog. It's another snow day. The sky also still looks pretty full. This weather doesn't look like it's going to clear up for some time. I think it's another day on the indoor trainer. I've been back in the UK now for a week today, and I've only actually ridden outside on my bike twice. Yesterday I did quite a hard session on the trainer, but I'm still in that recovery period post Spain. So this morning I'm only doing 1 hour at zone 1, just spinning the legs out. So I'm doing it on the rollers. So because I'm doing such an easy session, I decided to do today's session before my breakfast. There's a reason for that, which I'll explain a little bit after I've finished. Whoa! Skills. I like doing my easy rides in the rollers because it just makes it a little bit more interesting. You have to focus staying in the middle of the bar, so it just keeps the brain a little bit more occupied and a little bit more engaged than riding on the trainer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big talk. Rob claims he did diving in high school, but Rob also won't do a backflip.
I guess one benefit of doing a ride indoors is that your bike stays completely clean and it doesn't require a wash every time I ride it, which would be the case if I was riding outside today. So there's both evidence that supports the for and against whether fasted ride works. But waking up in the morning, having a black coffee and heading out for around a 1 hour low intensity ride. But the benefits, or the suggested benefits, of waking up in the morning, having a black coffee and heading out for a short low intensity ride is that it increases the aerobic adaptations to the body. We do this through fasted riding and it increases the mitochondria within the body. Therefore, an increase in mitochondria equals an increase in your training adaptations. Now, another reason to support and a reason that's believed that you should do fasted rides is because it increases your body's efficiency to use fat as a fuel source. Natural levels of fat in the body are much higher than those of glycogen, which is like the readily available used energy, but you only have a limited store of this, hence why when you're out on the bike you need to keep eating every hour. So I'm not doing this to lose any fat because I don't really feel like I've got much fat to lose. I'm doing this to increase my body's efficiency at using fats as a fuel source, so then when I'm out on a ride and maybe I've not got any food, my glycogen stores are running low, I'm not going to bonk because I've still got that fat store that my body can utilize and use as an energy source. But I think the most important thing to remember is if you do a fasted ride, a pre-breakfast ride, whatever you want to call it, it's really important that as soon as you get home, as soon as you've finished training, you get a solid breakfast and get some solid food down you. You don't want to be leaving yourself in that deficit. But right now we need to go and get a shower and then it's time for work. I'm trying to drink less coffee in the afternoon. It's been a bit of a goal of mine throughout my time in Spain, and I've been pretty much sticking to not having any coffee after like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Today's a little bit of an exception though. With this weather, I feel like everyone's feeling a little bit tired, a little bit run down. So I'm making an exception. I've finished with work and I stopped and got a coffee on my way home. So I'm racing this weekend down in Bristol at the Severn Bridge Road Race, and I've got my fingers crossed that they don't cancel it. There's already been a couple of races that are on this weekend that the organisers have had to cancel because of the weather. So hopefully I'm going to be travelling down to Bristol on Saturday. At the moment it's hanging in the balance, and I should know today a final decision on whether the race is going to go ahead or not. Anyway, I need some content to bulk out today's video, and I had an idea, something that I can talk to you guys about now that I couldn't talk at the time. So you may remember back when I was in Spain towards the start of the trip, I had a lot of GoPro shots in my videos and I had a lot of drone shots in my videos. Then all of a sudden the drone shots stopped and the GoPro, like the downhill, the descent montages, they just stopped as well. And I had no real explanation for that. And I decided to keep this whole situation off social media, and the rest of the guys did at the time. But basically we got broken into. One day all of the guys were out training, we came back to the villa after our training sessions and realised that we'd been broken into. There was a couple of bikes in the house. Luckily the bikes weren't, like, they didn't take the bikes. All that these guys took was cash and electrical items that you can flip around easy for some money. I'm not going to go into any details about what the other guys had taken, but me personally, they took my drone and my GoPro and quite a lot of cash. So that put a little bit of a downer on the rest of the trip, mainly because I wanted to film the descents. Like, we went down some insane descents on our bikes and I wanted to film them with the GoPro, and I simply couldn't. And I also couldn't go to the shop and buy, well, I could go to the shop and buy a new GoPro, but because it was all insured, that would have been pointless, because I would have got the new GoPro back when I get home anyway. I would have just wasted like €250 on a GoPro. But now that I'm back in the UK, I've been sorting out my insurance, and hopefully, well, it's looking like I'm going to be able to get everything that I had stolen back in my possession, or a new one anyway. So these guys were professionals, they knew what they were doing. All the doors obviously were locked. They just crowbarred a window open and managed to get in through the window. But yeah, it is what it is. We just got on with our time there and tried to not let it affect us too much. So I've been watching all these YouTube videos over the last few days, and it seems to be the trend at the minute that people on YouTube are calling other YouTubers out for a boxing match. So Francis, do you want to scrap? I'm just kidding, guys. That's going to be the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a thumbs up, and as always, I will see you tomorrow. Well, hopefully we're going to be back into the regular videos when the weather gets a little bit better, because I know the last few days have not been great. But guys, I will see you tomorrow at 5 PM